Alex sat on the edge of the small cot in his cramped cabin. Every night, he stared at the blank pad as it glowed softly. Since Sam moved to the Mars colony, the pad had stayed silent. The empty screen made Alex's chest ache. He missed his friend's laughter and warm voice. He felt a gap grow between them. The silence weighed on him like a rising wall. Alex cared deeply for Sam, but he did not know how to close the gap. The pad sat on his desk, waiting for a message that never came, and Alex wondered if he would ever hear from Sam again. Last spring, Alex and Sam had walked under the cherry trees in the old city park. They had laughed at birds perched on telephone wires. They shared dreams of exploring new worlds and building homes among the stars. Sam was always bold and brave, and Alex admired that fearless spark. They had talked for hours about the future, about rockets and distant planets, never imagining this long goodbye. Then the mission call came. Sam was chosen for the first Mars Colony initiative. It was a great honor, but also a painful farewell. Alex remembered pressing his hand to his heart as Sam hugged him, tears in both their eyes. That memory felt like both joy and sorrow. Every morning, Alex rose before dawn to check for messages. He logged into the slow, jittery network that linked Earth and Mars. Each time he typed "Hi, Sam," he watched the data bars creep across the screen. With a soft buzz, an error message blinked. User unavailable. His hopes sank. He tried, again at noon and again at night. Each failure felt like another small defeat. He wanted to ask how the red dust tasted, or what Martian sunsets looked like. But the pad stayed quiet, and Alex felt adrift between two worlds. To quiet his mind, Alex visited their old haunts. He walked through the city park, heart heavy. He sat on Sam's favorite bench by the old fountain, its gentle spray reminding him of Sam's playful spirit. He closed his eyes and imagined Sam telling one of those terrible but hilarious jokes. Around him, people moved on their own lives, full of noise and routine. The park was the same, but he felt empty without his friend beside him. He climbed the small hill where they once watched the sunset paint the sky in gold and rose. The view was still stunning, yet it felt only half as good without Sam there. Yet in his chest, a single spark of hope glowed warm. Alex thought about human history, how people had sailed oceans, flown to the moon, and built stations in orbit. He remembered stories of pioneers on the frontier worlds. Human beings never let distance break their bonds. They built ships, robots, and radio networks to join far-flung homes. They could beam music and news from Earth to a moon base. Then Alex could reach Sam. His heart burned with that proud humanity. F***. Yeah, Spirit HFY. He refused to give up hope. He would find a way to close this void. Back in his cabin, Alex cleared his desk and opened a worn toolbox. Inside lay spare radio parts Sam had sent him as a going-away gift. Under the warm glow of a single lamp, Alex laid out circuit boards, wires, and a small antenna. He studied a tattered manual about long-range communication relays. His hands trembled with quiet excitement as he soldered each connection, careful and steady. His small cabin filled with the scent of melting solder and old metal. He paused, only to sip lukewarm tea, his mind racing with possibilities. Alex programmed a signal booster into the system's core and adjusted frequency settings. Late into the night, he ran tests. Each soft beep and indicator light filled him with pride. He was building a bridge across millions of kilometers by hand. At last, the moment came. Alex slid the booster into the pad and raised its antenna toward the pale night sky. Pressed the call button and spoke clearly into the mic. "Sam, this is Alex." Static hissed like distant wind through the speaker. Alex held his breath. Then, faint but certain, Sam's voice answered. "Alex? Is that really you?" Alex felt tears sting his eyes, laughed and cried at the same time. In moments that felt like both an eternity and a heartbeat, they shared stories. Sam's life among red sands and Alex's work on the booster. They talked about simple things. A favorite song, shared memory under cherry trees. The big ones, dreams of future adventures together. With every word, the gap between them shrank. When dawn's pale light crept through his window, Alex held the compad close, felt lighter than he had in months. He had reached across the void and found Sam on the other side. Their voices still traveled through wires and waves, but their hearts felt near. Alex learned that human spirit, driven by hope, determination, and a refusal to be defeated, could overcome any distance. They promised to speak often and share news of their worlds. Inspired by his success, Alex planned to teach others on Earth how to build similar boosters. Even as Sam built a new life on Mars, Alex knew their bond would stay strong. In that simple, joyful call, they had found home again. Alex sat at his small workstation aboard the Earth-orbiting habitat and stared at the silent compad. Weeks had passed since his last long talk with Sam on Mars. The pad's empty screen felt colder than the vacuum outside. Each morning, he tapped "Good morning, Sam," and waited. Sometimes the signal bars flickered, then disappeared without a response. His chest tightened when he saw last seen 3 days ago. Alex tried to stay positive. He told himself Sam was busy with colony work and would reply soon. But every silent reply pressed on his heart like a weight, and he wondered if their friendship was slipping away again by midday. Alex floated through the habitat's narrow corridors on his way to the communal kitchen. Floating pots and pans clinked around him in zero gravity. He reached for a mug and caught sight of a holophoto clipped to his locker door. In it, he and Sam stood under pink cherry blossoms on Earth, laughing as petals drifted down around them. Alex traced Sam's smiling face with a fingertip. He missed that easy laughter. Back then, distance had been a blank fear. It was a creeping shadow creeping over every part of his day. He wondered if Sam felt the same void. Alex tried different ways to reach out. He sent short voice clips of Earth music from his favorite record. He recorded a video of the sunrise over the Pacific Ocean dome. He even recorded a simple poem about hope, just like the lines of the old human poets who wrote of stars and longing. Each package flashed into the cumnet and then vanished into the void. Sometimes a brief "Thanks, Alex" would blink back. That tiny reply warmed him, but it also reminded him of the gap. He wanted more than a single word. He yearned for laughter, for stories, for Sam's bold voice filling the quiet of his cabin. That night, Alex lay in his bunk and thought about human history. He remembered stories of the first astronauts who orbited Earth alone, still making jokes to mission control so no one would worry. He thought of the engineers who built the moonlander, knowing they might never return. Across centuries and space, humans had faced fear and distance and loneliness. Each time, they had pushed forward with hope and courage. Alex felt that same spark in his veins, an HFY spirit that said, "We do not give up on each other." He sat up, wiped his eyes, and knew he had to try something new. The next day, Alex posted a notice in the Habitat's newsfeed. Live virtual park gathering, all welcome. He explained he was building a simple VR room that looked like the cherry park on Earth. He invited Martian colonists and Earth residents to join. A small team of volunteers signed up, coders, artists, and even a few botanists who had studied cherry trees. Alex worked long hours soldering VR circuits and coding scenes. He borrowed extra processors from the recreation deck and tested the network link until each frame showed falling petals in slow motion. His hands ached, but his heart soared as the park came to life on his display. On the evening of the gathering, Alex floated into the VR studio. He donned his headset and launched the program. Around him, virtual cherry trees bloomed in soft pink light. A gentle breeze made petals drift across a winding path. He looked up at a VR sky painted in warm sunset colors. With a single command, he opened the bridge between Earth and Mars channels. Within seconds, blue icons appeared as avatars stepped into the scene. Habitats on Mars showed up as distant domes under a reddish sky and tiny windows at the park's edge. Earth's ocean dome shimmered below a bright moon above. But in the center, the cherry park felt like home. Alex saw Sam's avatar approach. Though they were pixels in light, he felt Sam's presence close. Sam waved and Alex waved back, voice clear in his headset. "This is amazing," Sam said, voice bright. It feels like I'm back on Earth. They walked together along the virtual path, petals drifting around them just like that day under real trees. Alex told Sam how he had built the scene, soldering circuits and writing code through long nights. Sam laughed and called him Earth's best HFY inventor. Then Sam shared stories of Martian storms and new discoveries at the colony's lab. Their words filled the silent spaces between them. As the virtual sun dipped below the cherry blossom horizon, Alex reached into his inventory and offered Sam a glowing blossom made of light. Gift, Alex said simply. Feel at home. Sam's avatar reached out and took it, eyes shining. I'll keep it by my bunk, Sam promised. They stood together in silence, letting petals drift around them. Even though they were millions of kilometers apart, their hearts felt close again. When the gathering ended, Alex removed his headset and floated back to his cabin. His eyes were bright and his chest felt light. He had bridged the distance with his own two hands and the human spirit that never quits. He knew the gap might reappear someday, network glitches, busy schedules, but he also knew he had found a way to stay close. Tomorrow, he would build new scenes and send Sam fresh stories. He would not let silence win. In the soft glow of his workstation, Alex typed one final note into the compad. See you in the park soon, and he believed Sam would be there. Alex woke early the next morning, sunlight spilling across his bunk like warm gold. He reached for the compad and tapped the screen. No reply from Sam. His heart thumped hard, a dull ache returning. He thought back to their virtual park meeting. The night before, how real it had felt. For a moment he smiled, full of pride that he had built that bridge. But now the silence threatened to swallow his hope. He floated from his bunk and moved through the habitat's dim corridors. The hush of sleeping crew weighed on him. At the control room, he found Lieutenant Vega staring at flickering network graphs. Still dead? He asked softly. Vega shook. Her head Mars-link dropped. A dust storm rolled in overnight. They expect outages for at least 24 hours. Alex's chest tightened. A storm was one thing. Losing Sam's voice again felt worse. He clenched his fists but fought. Panic back. Humans had crossed oceans on wooden ships, had walked on the moon. They'd even tamed Mars itself. He felt that same pride push him forward. Tell me what I can do, he said. Vega looked at him, admiration in her tired eyes. We could reroute through the old lunar relay, but the code is obsolete. It needs a human hand. Alex nodded. He knew that old relay had sat silent since the moon base shut down. But if he could reprogram it, they might restore a steady channel. He grabbed his toolkit and a stack of code printouts. I'll start now. Vega gave him a quick salute. Work fast, floated out, hope kindling in his chest. In his cabin, Alex laid parts across the desk. A data module, a quantum sync chip, and bits of lunar-grade wiring. He connected the chip to the compad and opened the relay's source code on his holoscreen. Lines of text scrolled past, dense and unfamiliar. He paused, breath-catching, then dove in. He rewrote functions, patched missing libraries, and optimized the signal buffer. His fingers moved confidently over the virtual keys. Outside, the habitat's life support hummed steadily. Inside, Alex's small world pulsed with creation. Each successful test filled him with pure joy. He remembered Sam's words yesterday. You make me feel I'm home. Those words guided him now. He would not let distance win. Hours passed. His eyes stung and his fingers cramped, but he refused to stop. He rewrote the final sequence, then uploaded the new code to the lunar relay station orbiting the moon. He watched a confirmation blink. Relay active. A surge of triumph shot through him. He floated to the compad and cleared his throat. Sam, can you hear me? He spoke slowly into the mic. Static crackled like wind through broken glass. Then, faint but clear, Sam's voice came back. Alex, I can hear you. Alex felt tears slip down his cheeks. He laughed through the tears. I built the link. Are you safe? Sam's voice sounded tired. We're in the bunker. The storm hit hard, but everyone's okay. I was worried when the link died. Alex's heart lifted. "I'm glad you're safe." They spoke as if no miles lay between them. Sam told tales of red dust swirling outside the bunker windows. Alex shared his coding adventure and how he stayed awake all night thinking of Sam. When the storm cleared, the link held strong. Alex and Sam spoke again the next morning, as real friends do. They planned to send care packages through cargo shuttles and records of new music from Earth. Sam promised to teach Alex how to grow Martian hydroponic herbs. Alex promised to send Sam seeds of Earth's first cherry blossoms still thriving. In the park, in the days that followed, Alex posted his relay code as open source. Engineers on Earth and in orbit praised his work. Some even offered improvements. Together, they built more relays, strengthening the bond between worlds. Alex felt proud of humanity's spirit or drive to help each other no matter the distance. One evening, Alex and Sam met again in the virtual cherry park. This time, the breeze carried red Martian dust and pink Earth petals together in a swirling dance. They walked side by side, laughter filling the headset. Alex knew that no storm, no blackout, no distance could break what they had built. In every line of code, every shared story, and every hopeful plan, the human spirit shone bright and unbroken. Alex sat alone in his cabin after his call with Sam. The pad had glowed with Sam's voice just hours before. But now the room felt empty again. He looked at the small metal shelf beside his bunk where he kept an empty gift box. He had wanted to send Sam something real, a reminder of Earth and their friendship, but he did not know how. Cargo shuttles were rare, and schedules filled months ahead. He felt his chest tighten. He missed Sam's laughter and the soft clink of cherry blossom. Seeds he had promised to send. The next morning, Alex floated down narrow corridors to the orbital logistics hub. Huge freighters and shuttles thrummed outside the viewing windows. Inside, queues of people waited to book cargo space for months or even years ahead. He approached the service desk, heart pounding. "I need to send a care package to Mars Colony," he said. The clerk glanced at his request form. "Next available slot is in 11 months, she replied kindly. "And only small parcels, then." Alex felt a cold wave of defeat. 11 months felt like forever. Imagine Sam waiting, opening a box that might arrive too late. He floated back toward the airlock, head low. Outside the hub, the sun rose. Over Earth's curve, its bright light warmed him through the glass. He closed his eyes and remembered how humans once built great ships to cross oceans, how they tamed the sky with steel birds, and how they reached the moon when everyone said it was impossible. In that history lay hope. Turning to his cabin, Alex opened a drawer where he kept old tech, broken 3D printer parts, sample blueprints, and spare circuits. A spark ignited in his mind. If he could not send a real box, he could send instructions. Mars Colony had printers for tools and habitat parts. Why not use them for gifts? He could send a digital care package, a 3D model of Earth's cherry blossom, seeds, and a small sculpture of their favorite park bench. It would show Sam he still cared. His heart lifted. He cleared his desk and gathered printer parts. He opened his laptop and launched his design software. First, he modeled a tiny cherry blossom branch in fine detail. He added a hollow pod to hold tiny soil samples, sterilized earth dust. Then he designed a foldable bench model that could fit inside the pod. He worked with simple shapes so the colony's printer could handle them. Each click felt like a heartbeat, carrying his hope across space. Late into the night, Alex refined his blueprint. He wrote a short message in his own clear font. For Sam, may these blossoms remind you of home. He compressed the files and tested the data packet through the new lunar relay he had built. The relay hummed as the packet climbed through orbit and jumped across millions of kilometers. He watched signal bars climb into the green. His chest swelled with pride. Human spirit and his own hands had made this possible. At dawn, Alex returned to the pad. He tapped Sam. "Check your printer inbox." He waited, watching the data arrive. Minutes later, a reply blinked. "File received. I'll print now." Bye. His heart pounded. He held his breath as the pad displayed the printer progress bar. Layer by layer, the virtual blossoms took shape in Sam's habitat. When printing finished, Sam sent a photo, a small branch of perfect blossoms held in Martian light. Sam's voice came through the link, warm and bright. "Alex, it's beautiful. I can almost smell home." Alex smiled, tears in his eyes. "I wanted you to have something real," he said. They laughed together, sharing stories of printing. Errors and unexpected colors the dusty light had given the blossoms. Sam promised to keep the little bench model on a shelf by the viewport. In the days that followed, Alex and Sam returned to their calls with renewed joy. The digital gift became a symbol of their bond. Other colonists and Earth residents saw Alex's method and asked for their own care packages. Alex shared his blueprint, code freely. Soon, small virtual exchanges of 3D designs connected dozens of people across the void. Human hope and creativity wove new links between worlds. Alex looked at his empty gift box on the shelf and smiled. It no longer felt empty. It had served its purpose, to start a chain of care and invention. He tapped his pad again and began drafting another surprise for Sam. Distance still lay ahead. But Alex knew that hope, determination, and a bit of human ingenuity could bridge any gap. In the quiet glow of his cabin, he felt the spirit of HFY stronger than ever. Humanity forges yonder. Alex woke before dawn again. The pale light from the cabin window painted soft lines on his bunk. He reached for the pad and pressed Sam's name. The pad hummed, but no voice came. The display blinked unavailable. His heart sank. He sat up, feeling an empty ache. The silence felt deeper than ever. Each morning began like this now, with a silent greeting and a shaken hope. He missed Sam's warmth, his laughter, and the way he said Alex's name. The quiet weighed on him like cold steel, yet inside a small flame of hope still burned bright. He rose and floated to his desk, where the 3D model of cherry blossoms still sat in storage. He touched the digital file and recalled how proud Sam had been to hold the printed flowers in Martian light. It had been a victory for hope and human will. That memory made him smile and ache at the same time. He thought about all the ways they had closed the gap before. A virtual park, relay code, and 3D gifts. But this morning, that spark felt too small. He needed to do something new, something grander. Alex opened the Habitat newsfeed and composed a simple message, calling on all Earth friends. Let us send a wave of music and voice to Mars. Share your favorite songs, stories, or messages to brighten our friends' days on the red planet. He hit send with a steady hand, and he printed a bright poster on the communal printer too. Planets joined by a wireless signal. He posted it on every deck. His hope felt like a rolling wave now, carrying him forward. Within hours, responses arrived. A baker in France recorded the sound of a busy oven and sent a short greeting in accented French. A schoolteacher in India sent children singing a folk song. A pair of astronauts on the ISS shared radio chatter, mixed with their laughter. Alex read each message with wide eyes and a full heart. People from every corner of Earth contributed. Each clip was small, but together they formed a powerful chorus of human spirit. He felt humbled and proud. This was HFY at its best. Alex spent the next 2 days compiling and editing. Built an audio track that began with Earth's morning bird song and waves on a beach. Then layers of voices rose, children singing, friends, greeting, even a simple poem about hope from a poet in Canada. He added his own voice at the end. Sam and all on Mars, hear our voices. We are with you always. He programmed the track to loop softly and prepared to send it through the lunar relay. His fingers flew across the pad as he uploaded the file. A progress bar filled slowly, then flashed sent. He scheduled the broadcast for the next clear night when Mars shone bright. When the moment came, he gathered with a small group in the Habitat's rec room. The curved walls glowed softly, and the crowd was silent in awe. Alex pressed play, and the room filled with sound. Music and voices. So many voices echoed against metal walls. A hush fell, and gentle tears and smiles. The track ran for 20 minutes, rising and falling like a living thing. At the end, the words from Earth, with hope, glowed on the screen. Across millions of kilometers, Sam's habitat buzzed with the same broadcast. Sam and the colonists gathered in their common room. Holographic displays showed Earth's horizon. When the voices reached them, many wiped tears. Sam looked at the glowing cherry branch on the table and felt the distance melt. He tapped his pad and spoke. "Alex, is that really us?" The audio track paused as the link opened. Alex's voice came through, calm and warm. "Sam, we sent our hearts across space." They both smiled through tears. The broadcast became a ritual. Every week it ran again, with new messages added by people on Earth. Schools, families, and even random travelers recorded short greetings and songs. Alex managed the feed, and Sam helped collect new clips on Mars. This shared effort made their bond stronger. Each week, the distance seemed a little less. The pad lit up more often with thank you notes and fresh voices. Snow longer felt the empty ache each morning. Instead, he woke with a quiet joy, ready to add more messages to the wave. One evening after a broadcast, Alex and Sam spoke long into the night. They laughed about a child's off-key singing and recited new poems. They made plans, a joint reading club, a virtual concert, and perhaps one day a real visit on a cargo shuttle. The gap between Earth and Mars was still there, but it felt smaller now. Hope and human ingenuity had built a bridge of sound and warmth. Alex felt proud of what they had done. Humanity, he realized, never stops reaching out. Even across the vastness of space, our HFY spirit will light the way. Alex floated back to his cabin after the call, heart light and eyes bright. He looked at a small notebook on his desk, filled with names and clips of Earth voices. He wrote, "One more entry, April 13th. Voices of Earth shared with Mars colony." He closed the notebook and turned off the pad. He lay down content, knowing that while Sam slept under alien skies, their hearts were connected every hour. In that simple truth he found peace and a great hope. Distance might test them, but it could never break them. It would remain close, bound by the sound of home and the unbreakable human spirit.